The family of a man tased by an East Bay Park District police officer is taking legal action. The incident left that man in a coma. A lawsuit filed today claims it all started over expired car tags. Now, we want to warn you, body camera footage of the incident might be difficult to watch. It happened in April at a park in Oakland. You can see the officer approaching Deontae Faison and pointing a gun at him. A chase began and the officer began to tase him. And that's when Faison fell into the water. The lawsuit claims the officer kept tasing and watched Faison struggle for 30 minutes.
We totally believe that the police were completely over-aggressive, especially for what was in dispute here. We're talking about money that essentially was not paid to DMV.
Park District responded to the lawsuit saying it does not comment on pending litigation.
All right, peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. And you saw the pictures of 35-year-old Deontae Faison, who as of October the 22nd of last year, still remains in a coma due to the actions of this officer and his excessive using of force while tasing a man while he was in the water, which goes against standards and shows a reckless disregard for human life. Now, this incident happened on April the 5th, 2024. And as I first stated, this remains a litigation as the family has since filed a civil lawsuit. And this happened in Oakland, California, at the East Bay shoreline, consequently on Martin Luther King Jr. Bay or something like that. But Deontae Faison, who of course is black, was at the shoreline with a friend. And this friend was a female who, of course, is white. And you know, we've talked about that dynamic in a bunch of occasions on this channel, so we don't have to revisit that. But this officer apparently saw his Jeep, decided to run the tags, and noticed that he had expired registration. And once again, that's another form of profiling because, of course, he probably saw this black man with this young white woman and said, okay, you know, let me see what they got going on. Let me harass him for being without pure bred whiteness. And, you know, people can deny that fact, but, you know, that has been a true fact throughout history. And I'm going to show you the body cam footage of him tasing the young man. But according to an article, and you saw that when, you know, the police got to them, they pulled him out of the car with a gun pointed to him. Now, Deontae admittedly gave them a fake name. And while they was running the name, I guess they couldn't find it in the system. And, you know, they began to, I guess, harass him for about 20 minutes. And it was that point that Deontae took off and ran. Now, going back to the other subject matter, he says that the officer never questioned or asked his passenger, who was a white woman, anything. Now, we know that to be the contrary because a lot of times when black people are pulled up, everybody got to show their ID. Everybody gets handcuffed. Everybody gets their name ran. So this is another example of the duality of policing when it comes to race. Nevertheless, the young man ran into the water, and the police continued to tase him even when he is in the water. Let me go ahead and show you that video so you can see the brutality, the inhumaneness of these officers, because the guy is in the water. He's not going anywhere. If he swims anywhere, he's going to have to eventually come back to shore. So let's look at this. And once again, you guys tell me what you think in the comments about this.
Get down the ground! Get down! Get down! officer, when he's making his way over towards the airport through the water, he's swimming.
And there you see it, ladies and gentlemen. And that beeping noise that you heard is the taser continuously being deployed. And you saw the actual string of the taser. That taser was in the man's or on the man's body with a continuous flow of electricity throughout that medium while the man is in the water. So that shows pretty much actually an intent to expire him, by these officers, and their, carefree, lackadaisical nature shows a lot about, their inner man, as we would say. But let's look at a little bit more of the details of these police's actions. Now, once again, there is a lawsuit, and the stop, once again, was only for driving with expired tags. And you saw the officer shooting him in the back with the taser. And, the man continued to go into the water. And this article says that Faison struggled in the water for over 30 minutes while calling for them to help until officers finally pulled him out the water, and he was unresponsive after 15 minutes. They said emergency services were never called, and the officers turned off their body cameras. They got rid of Faison's clothes, and they did not take witness statements. In another attempt to cover up their actions, it also stated that they lied about Faison being armed in their reports. They basically stood by, said the civil rights attorney Jameer Javis, and watched Deontae call for help while flailing his arms in a desperate bid to avoid drowning. That is unforgivable. And, the Park District said they do not comment on pending litigation, and our hearts go out to Mr. Faison's family. Now, that is just some of the misdeeds of the officers, once again, trying to make that narrative of him being armed, turning off cameras, not taking witness statements. What does that say? Is that policing, or is that, making the story what you want it to be? Wait a minute. There's more. There's more despicable behavior from these officers. Now, once again, this was on the Martin Luther King Jr. regional shoreline. And again, the officer who tased him was named Nia. Jonathan Nia is the officer. And it says any officer who intentionally uses a taser on a person who is near or standing in water must be considered to be showing deliberate indifference for human life. The attorneys for him did not comment on this article. And this article right here goes on with the regular protocol. They say that, court records show he was on probation for pleading no contest to a 2021 robbery. The probation was revoked in 2023, and that has nothing to do with this incident, because once again, the use of almost lethal force over expired car tags is over the top and unlawful. Also, once again, they escalated the situation by pulling a gun on him, before he even got out of the car. And once again, they asked him and his friend to get out of the car. They never questioned the white woman. She also gave a fake name. And when more officers arrived, once again, they pulled a gun on Faison again. That's when he ran, collapsed in the water, and started fighting for his life for 30 minutes. Now, the officers also stated that they tried to call for help, but all water rescue resources were unavailable at the time. But the other article said that they did not call for help. Also, they said that they did not tell the whole story to the doctors. They said that he just simply drowned. And to this day, as you see our brother here, as of October the 22nd, he still remains in a coma. And so prayers and continuous thoughts go out to our brother Deontae, who is yet another victim of excessive, aggressive, and combative policing. Once again, over expired tax. Once again, some monies that were owed to the DMV. And then once again, they tried to demonize him in several articles, bringing up his past. That is a common tactic to desensitize the public to the humanity of the individual. He's not a man, he's a criminal. He's a felon. And that's how they continue to get away with this. Yet and still, the family has the lawsuit pending. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to get compensated monetarily. But the problem with that is these officers are probably going to still be on the force, and they may have the propensity or the opportunity to commit these acts to another individual who may be in the same situation. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this story in the comments. Once again, 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings. Thank y'all again for watching.